Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I hope everyone had an amazing, magical holiday time. I'm just getting back into the swing of things from my time off, which I definitely needed. But I saw a book of the month just dropped today, actually. It was a little earlier than I was expecting, but let's check it out together. So it says there's 6 selections for January. First one is Rings of Fate, which is by Melissa de la Cruz, and it's a fantasy. There's a limited edition option. Let's see. A jaded maiden and a desperate prince embark on a high-stakes adventure, risking their hearts to save the realm. 400 plus pages, first in a series, multiple viewpoints, and salacious. She is a barmaid who doesn't believe in fairy tales. He's a prince cursed to live one. Erin Bellamore has no interest in being anyone's princess. She's too busy running into the Raven's Beak Tavern, fending off unwanted marriage proposals and dreaming of escape. But when a brush with death and a dangerously handsome stranger upends her life, Erin finds herself bound to a bargain that could change everything. Prince Deaton has carried the cursed rings of fate, ancient weapons of devastating power, since childhood. What? Why would you give a child these cursed rings of fate? The magic is killing him, and the enemies are closing in. To make the journey to reverse his curse, he needs a bride to hide his secrets. Aaron wants freedom. Pretending to be his fiancée should give them both what they want. But as their perilous journey pits them against political schemes, monstrous calandrar, and a growing attraction neither can deny, the line between make-believe and destiny begins to blur. And the fate of 2 kingdoms may depend on whether a cynical barmaid and a cursed prince are willing to risk their hearts. No content warnings. I don't know, that sounds cute, but I have a lot of fantasy to read actually, and I don't know if I could start like another series right now. The next option is Most Eligible by Isabel Engel. It's a debut romance novel. It says she's not there for love on the cover. A journalist goes undercover on a reality dating show. Can she break a big story without breaking her heart? That sounds kind of fun. Female friendships, salacious, LOL, and second chance romance. I don't always like second chance romance, but let's see. Georgia Rose is not going on the hit reality dating show Love Shack to find love. She's there to write a killer expose on the producers, which will guarantee the journalism job of her dreams. But when Georgia's unforgettable one-night stand from the year before, country singer Red Auburn steps into the Malibu mansion as the season's new host, all of her carefully crafted plans unravel. Caught up in the drama of backstabbing contestants, producer blackmail, and death-defying dates, Georgia must keep her identity and history with Rhett a secret. Despite the lies between them, it isn't long before Georgia and Rhett's heated behind-the-scenes moments start to feel more genuine than the romance Georgia's faking for the cameras. But with her assignment unfinished and the executive producer on her tail, a second chance with Rhett could be her riskiest move of all. No content warnings. That kind of sounds fun, but I feel like that'd be better like TV show, honestly. Next is Crux by Gabrielle Talent, literary fiction. I really like the cover of this. It's really pretty. 2 untethered teens try to grow up without growing apart while they dream of becoming professional rock climbers. It says the book is highbrow. I guess that's the literary fiction part. How highbrow can it be when it's about teens? Multiple viewpoints, underdog, ornate, and coming of age, ornate too, about like rock climbing and teenagers, ornate. I don't really get what ornate means for a book, I guess. Let's see. Dan and Tama are 2 teenagers in their last year of high school in the southern Mojave Desert. One is a gifted golden child, the other a mouthy burnout. Climbing boulders in trash-strewn parking lots during cold desert nights, they steal their unique bond and dream of a life of adventure. They seal, not steal, whoops. They seal their unique bond and dream of a life of adventure. As the year progresses and adult reality looms, they are rocked by change and pulled apart by irreconcilable obligations. I made a little trouble reading, I guess. Differences of class, talent, and prospects take on new importance. Options dwindle and their decisions grow ever more consequential and perilous. It feels inevitable, finally, that something must give. With a magnificent gift for nature writing and a joyful appreciation for the redemptive power of friendship, Gabriel Talent gives readers a rollicking, adrenaline-filled, and soul-searching novel about risking everything to change your life. It does have content warnings. It contains mentions of sexual assault and domestic abuse. Sounds pretty good, but I still don't really understand what ornate means for a book. So if someone could explain that to me, that would be great. The next choice is Lost Lambs by Madeline Cash, contemporary fiction. That's kind of cute. Like a child drew it. Three daughters navigate dating, adolescence, and their parents' dissolving marriage in this quirky, clever story. Oh, dissolving marriage. Multiple viewpoints, quirky, LGBTQ plus themes, and salacious. Is one of the parents found out they were gay or something? The Flynn family is coming undone. Catherine and Bud's open marriage has reached its breaking point as their daughters spiral in their own chaotic orbits. Abigail, the eldest, is dating a man in his 20s nicknamed War Crime Wes. That's crazy. Luis, the middle child, maintains a secret correspondence with an online terrorist. Seriously? The brilliant youngest, Harper, is being sent to wilderness reform camp due to her insistence that someone or something is monitoring the town's citizens. Casting a shadow across their lives in their small coastal town is Paul Alabaster, a billionaire shipping magnate. Rumors of corruption circulate, but no one dares dig too deep. No one except Harper, whose obsession with a mysterious shipping container sends the family hurtling into a criminal conspiracy, one that may just bring them closer together. Irreverent and addictive, pinging between the voices of the Flynn family and those of the panorama of characters around them, Madeline Cash's Lost Lambs is a debut novel of quick-witted observation and surprising tenderness. With it, Cash has crafted a family saga for the 21st century, all held together with crazy glue. How old are these kids? I guess I thought they were like little kids, but not if they're like dating a man in his 20s and talking to some online terrorist and is investigating a billionaire shipping magnate. Oh, it does contain mentions of suicidal ideation. I don't know, that sounds like more interesting than I thought it would be. Next is The Future Saints by Ashley Winstead, early release, and it's contemporary fiction. This is actually going to be on my anticipated fiction list for 2026, so I might have to pick this, but let's see. The lead singer of an indie band must balance newfound fame and a budding romance while healing from a tragic loss. It does come out the 20th, so this would be really early release. Romance, drug and alcohol use, siblings, and multiple viewpoints. The best love stories are the ones you don't expect. When record executive Theo meets the Future Saints, they're bombing at a dive bar in their hometown. Since the tragic death of their manager, the band has been a downward spiral, and Theo has been dispatched to coax a new and successful album out of them, or else let them go. Immediately, Theo is struck by Hannah, the group's impetuous lead singer, who's gone off script by debuting a whole new sound, replacing their California pop with gut-wrenching rock. That's cool. When this new music goes viral, striking an unexpected chord with fans, Theo puts his career on the line to give the Saints one last shot at success with a new tour, new record, and new start. But Hannah's grief has larger consequences for the group, and her increasingly destructive antics become a distraction as she and her sister, Ginny, her lifelong partner in crime, undermine Theo at every turn. Hannah isn't ready to move on or prepared for the fame she's been chasing, and the weight of her problems jeopardize the band, her growing closeness with Theo, and worst of all, her relationship with her sister, all while the world watches closely. Oh, that would be such a pain to deal with all this stuff, and then you're suddenly like catapulted in fame and everyone's watching. The Future Saints' big break is here, if only they can survive it. That also sucks. Something you've been working towards for so long to finally like make it in music and all this other stuff's happening at the same time. Yeah, I might pick that one. Last main pick option is Anatomy of an Alibi by Ashley Elston, which is a thriller. I have heard a little bit about this book. After two women swap identities, they find themselves caught in an even bigger crime, a murder case. Multiple viewpoints, nonlinear timeline, slow build, and a whodunit. Everyone at Chantilly's bar, I don't know why that was hard to say. Everyone at Chantilly's bar noticed out-of-towner Camille Bayliss. Red lips, designer heels, sipping a Negroni. But that woman wasn't Camille Bayliss. It was Aubrey Price. Oh. Camille Bayliss appears to have the picture-perfect life. She's married to a hotshot lawyer, Ben, and is the daughter of a wealthy Louisiana family. Only nothing is as it seems. Camille believes Ben has been hiding dirty secrets for years, but she can't find proof because he tracks her every move. Aubrey Price has been haunted by the terrible night that changed her life a decade ago, and she's convinced Benjamin Bayliss knows something about it. Living in a house full of criminals, Aubrey understands there's more than one way to get to the truth, and she may have found the best way in. Aubrey and Camille hatch a plan. It sounds simple. For 12 hours, Aubrey will take Camille's place. Camille will spy on Ben, and the two women will get the answers they desperately seek. Except the next morning, Ben is found murdered. Both women need an airtight alibi, but only one of them has it. And one false step is all it takes for everything to come undone. No content warnings. She also wrote First Lie Wins. I don't know, that sounds kind of interesting. I also do like the cover, the colors. I'm still leaning towards The Future Saints just because that was on my list. But Crux also seems interesting. I like the cover. Let's look at the new add-ons as well. Oh, okay. That's on my list too. My husband's wife. Seems like there's 4 new add-ons to pick. This is The First Time I Saw Him by Laura Dave, which is a thriller, which this is also on my anticipated fiction 2026 list. So now there's 3 books here that I might have to pick between. An exhilarating sequel about the power of forgiveness, renewed promises, and the risks we take to protect those we love. Multiple viewpoints, non-linear timeline, action-packed, and second in the series. I do have the first one. I did read it. I really liked it. I might have to get this as an add-on. 5 years after her husband Owen disappeared, Hannah Hall and her stepdaughter Bailey have settled into a new life in Southern California. Together, they've forged a relationship with Bailey's grandfather Nicholas and are putting the past behind them. But when Owen shows up at Hannah's new exhibition, she knows that she and Bailey are in danger again. As a thrilling drama unfolds, Hannah and Bailey are forced to go on the run and in a relentless race to keep their past from catching up with them. Hannah risks everything to get Bailey to safety and finds there just might be one way back to Owen. 5 years, that's so long. Is that... I'll have to look. I feel like that's similar to how long it took between the publishing, but I might have to get that. The next one is The Odds of You by Kate Dramas. It's a romance. I don't know what that says. Oh, I think the cover says once is chance, twice is fate. When a best-selling author and an emerging actor keep crossing paths, they'll face the odds of falling in love together. Emotional, salacious, rural, and writer's life. Sage Collins knows a thing or two about odds. A year ago, she was a data analyst until she burned it all down to pursue her dream of becoming an author. One whirlwind bestseller and a struggling second book later, and Sage isn't sure she'll ever write a novel again. But then an accidental encounter with an irritating passenger on the flight to Comic-Con leaves Sage in an untested position. That passenger is Theo Sharp. Theo, again. It's such a popular name, I feel like now. a breakout actor on the cusp of fame, and unfortunately, the paparazzi have mistaken her for his girlfriend. Armed with signature British charm and a smile that could tame oceans, Theo wears fame like a well-fit coat, though Sage can see there's something deeper held in his eyes. But his fans are too involved in the drama, the pressure to deliver the next bestseller is on, and Sage and Theo must agree there's nothing between them. They don't have to acknowledge that saying it doesn't make it true. When Sage decides to flee to Scotland to clear her head and write her novel, she expects to find fresh air and the stillness to think. What she doesn't expect is Theo Sharp to come back into her life, and how he may be her greatest miscalculation of all. For him to show up in Scotland while she's trying to write her book, that's funny. No content warnings. That sounds cute, but I can't add it because I've already got too many to add. My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney is a thriller, and this is the other third book on my anticipated 2026 reads. I kind of need to decide between this and the first time I saw him, I guess, but let's read it. Two women claim the same identity in this unpredictable thriller about obsession, deception, marriage, and revenge. Ooh, this also comes out the 20th, so this would be early too, pretty early. Multiple viewpoints, puzzle, nonlinear timeline, and marriage issues. Eden Fox, an artist on the brink of her big break, sets off for a run before her first exhibition. When she returns to the home she recently moved into, Spyglass, an enchanting old house in Hope Falls, nothing is as it should be. Her key doesn't fit. A woman eerily similar to her answers the door, and her husband insists that the stranger is his wife. One husband, two women, someone is lying. That would be crazy to go on a run and then you come back and some woman has taken over your life. How long did she go for a run for? 6 months earlier, a reclusive Londoner called Bertie, reeling from a life-changing diagnosis, inherits Spyglass. This unexpected gift from a long-lost grandmother brings her to the pretty seaside village of Hope Falls. But then Bertie stumbles upon a shadowy London clinic that claims to be able to predict a person's date of death, including her own. Secrets start to unravel, and as the line between truth and lies blurs, Bertie feels compelled to right some old wrongs. My Husband's Wife is a tangled web of deception, obsession, and mystery that will keep you guessing until the last page. Prepare yourself for the ultimate mind-bending marriage thriller and step inside Spyglass, if you dare, to experience a story where nothing is as it seems. It does contain mentions of suicide. I don't know, I think I would like that. Last new add-on option is Skylark by Paula McLean, historical fiction. A poignant tale of bravery in the face of oppression, spanning centuries but connected by an underground city in Paris. 400 plus pages, nonlinear timeline, multiple viewpoints, and war. 1664. Alouette Voland is the daughter of a master dyer at the famed Goblin Tapestry Works, who secretly dreams of escaping her circumstances and creating her own masterpiece. When her father is unjustly imprisoned, Alouette's efforts to save him lead to her own confinement in the notorious Salpêtrière Asylum. I don't know French. Where thousands of women are held captive and cruelly treated. But within its grim walls, she discovers a small group of brave allies and the possibility of a life bigger than she ever imagined. 1664, what, oh, he was just imprisoned? That's not the war, I guess, right? That's not a war. I don't know. 1939, that's obviously a war. Christoph Larsen is a medical student beginning his psychiatric residency in Paris, whose neighbors on the Rue des Gobelins are a Jewish family who have fled Poland. When Nazi forces descend on the city, Christoph becomes their only hope for survival, even as his work as a doctor is jeopardized. A spellbinding and transportive look at a side of Paris known to very few, the underground city that is a mere reflection of the glories above, Paula McLean's unforgettable new novel chronicles two parallel journeys of defiance and rescue that connect in ways both surprising and deeply moving. And that's a really big time difference, too. I do like World War II historical fiction. Oh, this book does contain scenes depicting the death of a child. Oh, and there's these other books by Paula McLean. Circling the Sun and When the Stars Go Dark. I haven't read either of those. I'm just not sure about the 1664 timeline, if I would be interested in that. But those are kind of the options. I think for my main pick, I will go with The Future Saints, although I'm also interested in Crux. I'm going to decide between those two. And then the add-ons, I would say I will pick one of the two that are on my most anticipated fiction list. I don't know. I did just buy the yearly subscription, so I have 12 credits, and then I had already charged me for a credit, which I thought it would take away from the yearly, but it gave me 13 credits instead. So I could pick two. I don't really want to pick more than two since it's the first month and I don't want to run out of credits, but that's kind of where I'm at. Let me know what you will pick if you like any of these main picks or add-ons. And I hope everyone has a great beginning of the year. Hope everyone's not stressed at the beginning of the year and has relaxed from the holidays and just has a good month to start the year strong. So I'll talk to everyone next month.